Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It's over to Italy tonight as we have Serie A action as Fiorentina host AC Milan on this Sunday night fixture. Fiorentina have started the season slowly in the league with just one win from their opening six up against Lazio at home in game week 5, but have only lost one as well. Just too many draws are holding up Fiorentina from rising up the table. They also come into this game off the back of a win in the Conference League against New Saints of Wales on Thursday night. For AC Milan, they have lost one so far this season in the league to Parma away, but have only won 3 from their opening 6, and they've all come in a row against Venezia, Inter and Lecce. But there are no positives from their Champions League start, as it's 0 wins from 2, as they have been beaten by Liverpool at the San Siro and Leverkusen just in the week. It was a league double though for AC Milan against tonight's opposition last season, and they will want more of the same tonight. So as the weekend's football comes to its close and the international break is next in line, can Fiorentina or Milan take all 3 points tonight? Napoli, under Antonio Conte, are the team to chase down at the moment. They sit top of the league, and Fiorentina are 14th at the moment in Serie A, but because they're playing last, it does mean they have a game in hand on everyone else. So if Fiorentina do win, based on goal difference, they could get up into the top half of the table. And for AC Milan, if they were to win tonight, they could go up to second place, again, dependent on goal difference. So it could, be a really positive way to go into the international break. For both, really, because even if Fiorentina win, yes, they could only probably go as high as about 9th or 10th, but that gets them in the top half, and they've only lost once so far this season in the league. They've drawn 4 times, so, for Fiorentina, it's not exactly like they're getting beat every week. They're just struggling to win games, but, at least they're not dropping points. They're still gaining points, and they're out under new management this season under Raffaele Palladino, the 40-year-old manager who they've brought in from Monza at the start of this season. And during his 2 seasons at Monza, Palladino was able to get them finishing 11th and 12th in Serie A, which was very impressive because Monza aren't the biggest teams in this division and don't have the most money, that's for sure. But like I say, they're not losing, but they're seriously not winning. It's just right in the middle for Fiorentina, and Palladino is hoping he can start changing those draws into victories very quite soon. And like I say, for Milan as well, they're not too far away as well. They've only won once so far this season, but again, just a couple of draws which are just holding them back from really, being right on Napoli's tail and even being on the same points as them. They started the season with 0 wins from 3, AC Milan. They drew their first game 2-2 to Torino at home, then lost to Parma away, and then in the third game it was another 2-2 draw away to Lazio. But they have won the last 3 in a row, 4-0 against Venezia, 2-1 away against Inter. That's technically their away fixture against them, even though of course they both play at San Siro. That was a really good win. It was a 90th minute winner, 89th minute winner against Inter through their centre-back Matteo Gabbia. Massive win. And then they won last week. They played on the Friday night, AC Milan, and they won 3-0 against Lecce. 3 goals right before the break. Morata in the 38th minute, Hernandez in the 41st, and then Pulisic in the 43rd. So even though, especially for Fiorentina, they're 14th at the minute, but I think that's a little bit, of a false position because, like I say, they're not having exactly a poor start in terms of losing games. They've only lost 1. But again, you can't get away with drawing too many because it will catch up on you if you do draw too many games in any division. You can view it as not losing, but again, you're not winning. So it's a big night for Fiorentina, who are looking to try and win their second league game of the season so far. In the 3 home games they've played so far in the league, Fiorentina, that win came at home against Lazio, and then they've drawn the other 2, so they're unbeaten at home in the league. The last time they actually lost at home in Serie A was against AC Milan in the last meeting between these two. AC Milan came here at the end of March and won 2-1. Goals from Loftus-Cheek and Rafael Leao gave Milan the win that night. And like I say, I mentioned it before, AC Milan did the league double over Fiorentina, and in the home game they beat them 1-0, and that was at the end of November. It was a Theo Hernandez penalty. He won the penalty, he took the penalty, and he scored the goal. And it's worthy noting tonight that the French left-back for AC Milan, Theo Hernandez, it's his 27th birthday today, so he's looking for a little bit of a birthday present on his birthday and hoping AC Milan can get the 3 points. But kickoff is just a couple of minutes away, so we'll go through both starting 11s now in a little bit more detail. You can see them both on screen at the moment, but we'll start with Fiorentina, and they make a grand total of 10 changes from their lineup against New Saints in the Conference League on Thursday night. David De Gea comes back in goal, who they brought in as a free agent in the summer after the Spanish goalkeeper had a year out of playing. So back four. On the right back will be Dodo. At left back will be a loan signing from Union Berlin, and that is Robin Gosens. And then two centre-halves of Pietro Camuzzo, 19-year-old, and alongside him is the captain Lucas Ranieri, who's making his 75th appearance for the club tonight. It looks like it's going to be a midfield three, and all of them are loan signings. Eduardo Bove is one of them from Roma. Yassine Adli plays against his parent club AC Milan tonight, and the other one from Lazio is Danilo Cataldi. And three up front, again another loan signing. On the right is Andrea Capalni. On the left is another loan signing from Genoa, and that is Albert Gudmundsson, who scored a brace off the bench against Lazio in their only win of the season so far. This is his 50th appearance in Serie A, and then leading the line up front. So he's had a career that's it's gone from Italy to France to England and back to Italy again. Moise Kean is up front for Fiorentina. Came through at Juventus, had a loan at PSG whilst he had some time at Everton. He's now a new signing here, a permanent one. Spent 13 million euros on him, and they'll be looking for Moise Kean to make the difference tonight. As for Milan, it is the French number one goalkeeper in net, and that is Mike Maignan. And it's a back four of new signing from Spurs, Emerson Royal. On the left is the birthday boy Theo Hernandez, and the two centre-halves of Matteo Gabbia, who's got his first ever Italy call-up for this month's international break. And next to him is Fikayo Tomori, who's making his 150th appearance for the club since joining back in 2021. Two all the midfielders of Youssouf Fofana, the French midfielder who was featured in the France team for the Euros in the summer, and alongside him is Tijani Reinders, who's playing for his first ever club outside of his home nation, the Netherlands. And then three behind the striker on the right is Christian Pulisic, who scored in 3 games in a row, and they've all been in the AC Milan victories that they've picked up so far this season. On the left is Rafael Leao, who's searching for his 50th Serie A goal. He's currently on 48 for the division. In behind the striker is new signing Alvaro Morata, who's scored twice so far this season, both in Serie A, and he scored once in the first game against Torino, and he scored in the last game against Lecce. And then leading the line is a loan signing that brought in from Roma, and it's the Englishman Tammy Abraham, who has scored once so far this season for AC Milan, and that came against Venezia in the Serie A in their 4-0 home win a couple of weeks ago. So they're the two signings, and here are the two captains meeting together in the middle with the referee tonight, who is Luca Pareto, and the two captains are Lucas Ranieri and Theo Hernandez, as it's going to be Fiorentina in their all-purple home kit tonight, and AC Milan are in their full white kit as well. So there is the referee, Luca Pareto, with his two assistants of Luigi Rosso and Marco Sison. And there is the VAR room. The main VAR tonight is Simeone Sosa. As behind the goal to the right, that's where the main bulk of Fiorentina fans congregate together. Loads of flags being waved around, including, it looks like a flare's about to be lit up as well. It should be a fantastic atmosphere at the Artemio Franchi Stadium tonight. It's got some work being done to it at the moment. It's been renovated throughout 2024, but still pretty packed tonight in the stadium. A little group of AC Milan fans allowed in the corner as well. As just before kick-off here, looks like we're going to get a minute's silence for applause. I'm not quite sure what for, if I'm going to be completely honest. in memory of Franco Cimenti, president of Italian Golf. Not too sure, to be completely honest, but they're on a minute silence for him just before the start of this game tonight. But Fiorentina do not have the greatest of head-to-heads against AC Milan. In the 181 appearances they've had against each other, Fiorentina have won 52 of them, AC Milan have won 81, and AC Milan have won 2 of their last 5 away games against Fiorentina, both in March. One last this year in 2024, and the other one was in March 2021. And the last 0-0 we had was in September 2016. So fingers crossed that remains the same. We do not want any 0-0s tonight. I have watched too many 0-0s this weekend, so let's hope we get some goals tonight. And we should. You know, AC Milan have scored 14 goals already this season in the league in 6 games, which is rather impressive under their new manager, Paulo Fonseca, who they brought in the summer to replace their previous manager who left of Stefano Pioli, who was in charge for 240 AC Milan games. So it's a bit of a change in this new season, bringing in a new manager. But they started off okay. Not great in Europe against Liverpool and Leverkusen, but they're doing okay in the league. Could go up to second tonight with a win. As Fiorentina kick us off, kicking left to right. Milan right to left it. In Florence, it's AC Milan on the ball and they give it away. Dodo picks it up ahead of Leao. Plays it down the right-hand side. Colpani can cross it to the near post. It's cut out by Tomori. Drops to Dodo, who lifts it into the 6-yard box, and it's confidently caught there by Mike Maignan. And again, quick start there from Fiorentina. Well picked up by Dodo, the right back, and then he played it down the flank to Colpani, who was able to launch a cross in. It was dealt with by Tomori for the moment, and then the second ball in was then caught by Mike Maignan. As it's AC Milan midway inside their own half with Tomori going to the left back of Theo Hernandez, who played every minute in the summer for France during the Euros, where they reached the semi-final stage and were knocked out by Spain, the eventual winners. As it's Tammy Abraham being found on the left wing, trying to chest it inside on the edge of the box. He's been tackled and it's been cleared up into the air, headed down by Hernandez, picked up though by Colpani after a loose touch from Reinders. Colpani with a nice touch to drive forward down the right wing into the Milan half. Try to take on Hernandez, still driving with it, tackled, and it's out for a Fiorentina throw-in on this near side. Midway inside the Milan half, there is Palladino again, their new manager. Came through Monza. In terms of his coaching, was their under-19s manager for a year and then took on the first team from 2022 and then up until this year, 2024, where he's left for Fiorentina. As Fiorentina's manager from last season, Vincenzo Italiano, left for Bologna, as they were managerless after Thiago Motta left for Juventus. So it has been a bit of a manager carousel and a go-around this summer. And that includes AC Milan, who have got the Portuguese manager, Paulo Fonseca, who's no stranger to the Serie A. He was manager of Roma from 2019 to 2021. So he is used to this league, and he's got a 100% win rate against Fiorentina, 4 games, 4 wins, as Moise Kean is found in the box on the left-hand side. Is he offside? Yes, he is. Flag goes up. Well-held line there by AC Milan. Just needs to time his run there, Moise Kean. Brought in for €13 million in the summer from Juventus. Didn't score any goals last season in all competitions, the now 24-year-old. But he is looking for his 25th Serie A goal of his career. Like I say, came through at Juventus and spent the last 3 years there playing. Did depart for a little bit of time to join Everton, where he was a little bit of an unsuccessful spell over in England for him. As it's AC Milan on the ball, midway inside their own half here with Fikayo Tomori, who's still not involved with England despite the change of manager with the interim manager of Lee Carsley. He's not played for England since November of last year. Fikayo Tomori, who spent 16 years coming through at Chelsea. Got Milan in the chat. Hopefully he's hoping for a Milan win tonight. As a ball out to the right, it's gone right under the foot there of Emerson Royal, and it's a throw-in for Fiorentina on the halfway line. They've thrown it already into their own half with Ranieri, the captain. It's now across to his centre-back partner of Pietro Camuzzo, just 19 years of age. Played a couple of first-team games last season, 41 times as a unused substitute, but this season he's been used a lot more frequently, and he's now an Italian under-20s international. There's a lifted ball out to the left, can't be nodded down the line to a Fiorentina player. Gorson's looking for Bove, but he's gone out of play for an AC Milan throw-in, and they've taken it. And again, it's just in the AC Milan half, and it's with Fikayo Tomori. He's less than 4 minutes in. No real chances yet in this game, as it is tonight's captain for Milan on the ball, Hernandez. He goes forward into the midfield, and he goes back into Leao. Bit of a link up there with the number 7 of Alvaro Morata, the Euros winner from the summer, was the captain for Spain as well, in their run in Berlin to win the whole thing. As again, Emerson Royal caught in possession there on the left-hand side. It's Goodmanson driving away from Fofana down the Fiorentina left, holds the ball up, their number 10. Tries to go backwards, he's been held and stopped, and eventually the free kick goes Fiorentina's way. Good battle in there, though, in fairness, between Albert Goodmanson and Yusuf Fofana. Fiorentina have got the ball rolling already, back with their back four, and it's Camuzzo, the young centre-half, first ever time facing AC Milan in his career. We're exactly on the halfway line on this near side with the right-back Dodo. 49th appearance in Serie A tonight for the Brazilian right-back. It's now on the opposite side here with Ranieri. Goodmanson. Back it goes into the Fiorentina half. They keep it moving here. It's with Ranieri. Going to the goalkeeper in the 18-yard box of De Gea. Being closed down here by Morata. Goes to the right here to Camuzzo. Curls it down the right channel, and it can't be kept in there by the head of Andrea Colpani. And it's an AC Milan throw-in. Good press there from Milan, forcing Fiorentina to give the ball away and kick it out of play. As it's Alvaro Morata on the ball. Deep, but then clips it into the box towards Abraham. Header away by Ranieri. To the right back area to Dodo. Fires it forward beyond the halfway line. Headed forward by Gabbia. Played out wide by Fofana to Emerson Royal. He has a bit of space to go forward, about 10 yards inside the Fiorentina half. Finds the ball here to Christian Pulisic, the American, who's yet to score against Fiorentina. Started against them once last season, and that was in the home fixture at the San Siro. It's on the halfway line. It's Reinders, brought in last season from AZ Alkmaar. Started both games against Fiorentina last season. The Dutchman, that's on that far side with Pulisic. Into the edge of the box, can't quite find Morata. Deflects through for Reinders, who puts it into the box to the right-hand side, looking for Morata. It bounces, and he flicks it into the area, and it needs to be dealt with there by Camuzzo, and it just about is. He was put under pressure there by Tammy Abraham. Throw-in taken quickly. Emerson Royal throws it backwards here to Pulisic. It's now on the halfway line with Matteo Gabbia. He's only ever played Fiorentina away from home, the number 46. He's never played them at the San Siro. As it is in the centre circle here with Fofana, the central midfielder. Goes to his right to Gabbia. Everyone behind the ball here, Fiorentina, pressing in a 4-4-2 shape. It's now Fikayo Tomori. Out to this near side now to Reinders. Not many options around him. As he drives inside into a more central area. The space on the right flank here, controlled by Pulisic. Cleared away. I think the pass was intended for Emerson Royal, but Pulisic tried to control it. Fiorentina's cleared it, but only as far as Fofana on halfway. And it's AC Milan who are settling into this game now. Emerson Royal going for an early cross into the box. It's a deep one. It'll bounce all the way through towards Rafael Leao, who will keep it in and gets beyond Dodo, who pulls him to the ground, pulling the shirt. And that's surely got to be a yellow card for the Fiorentina number 2. I think it is as well. Yeah, the referee, Luca Pareto, with the card. Just trying to see it out there for a throw-in Dodo, and Leao's been able to wrap his foot around him and almost like backheel the ball back in play and run around the full-back, and then he didn't want him to get into the box, so he's just pulled him to the ground there, Dodo. And that'll be a free kick for AC Milan. It's just a bit further forward than what a corner would be. So the angle's tight, but I think more importantly, Rafael Leao can now run at Dodo, who is on a yellow card. So that should and probably will cause some issues for the Fiorentina backline, because Rafael Leao causes issues without fullbacks being on yellow cards. It's a right-footed in-swinger from Pulisic towards the near post. It's a header away over the bar from Gabbia. As you can just see behind the goal here to the left, loads of work being done. It's almost like a whole new stand is being built no one behind that goal because it's literally a construction site at the moment. And Gabbia got the header at the near post. He was literally about 3 yards away from goal, but he couldn't quite flick it on. And it'll be a goal kick for Fiorentina, which will be taken by David De Gea. Brilliant to see the 33-year-old back in the game after spending a year out after his release from Manchester United. Only the one clean sheet for him so far, though, this season. Kept 190 for Manchester United in his 12-year stay with the Red Devils. As we're just over 9 minutes in, again, no real clear-cut chances so far in this game as De Gea sends it out to the left-hand side. It's a flick on for Fiorentina by Bove. Can't find any runners. And he'll go out for a AC Milan throwing midway inside their own half on that far side with the Brazilian Emerson Royal, who last appeared for Brazil in November 2023. Does have 10 caps for his country, Emerson Royal. Sao Paulo-born right back. Gets the ball returned to him from Morata from the throw-in. Facing his own goal here, Royal. Finding Gabbia, who clears it down the right flank. Header forward for Fiorentina. Controlled by Adley. Down the line to Goodmanson. Tackled though by Emerson Royal. And it can break here to Pulisic, who drives into a central area. Into the space for Reinders. He's burst into the Fiorentina half. Out wide to Rafael Leao, who can run at Dodo. Into the box. Clips it to the far post. Headed down by Morata. Controlled by Pulisic on the edge of the area. Goes to his left to Emerson Royal. Fofana can't go forward because the pass is intercepted there by Adley, who's going to send the ball away long in behind the AC Milan defence for Moise Kean to chase, and he gets there ahead of Tomori, shielding the ball away from the Englishman. Really good striker play from Moise Kean, who wins a free kick on the edge of the box. Too much grappling going on for the referee's liking. Man, he might have to do a lot of that tonight, Moise Kean. A lot of isolated work. Fikayo Tomori really doesn't agree with the decision there from the referee. Just seemed a little bit harsh. I think they were both grappling each other. I think it was just a bit of a fair fight. Probably the shirt pulling is what got the free kick for Moise Kean more than anything. It's well won from the 24-year-old. Looking for a new home here after being rarely used from the start by Juventus in his last season with the club. As there's the right-footed option here of the low-knee signing from AC Milan, and that is Yassine Adli. You can play against your parent club in Italy, and they've also got the left-footed option of Colpani, and he will be Colpani to go low when it's cleared by a sliding Morata. Could have been an issue that for Maignan if that went through to him. Also had Ranieri trying to get a touch onto it as well, the Fiorentina centre-back who came up to join in there with the free kick. In the final third, it's a throw-in for Fiorentina with Dodo, the 25-year-old, who left his home country of Brazil to go to Ukraine and play with Shakhtar, the club he left to join Fiorentina. As they say, AC Milan now with a throw-in, winning it there after it was given away there by Yassine Adli. Must be strange to play against your parent club when you're on loan. You know, Yassine Adli trying to make a point, as he clearly wasn't in the plans of the new manager Paulo Fonseca. Was featured a decent amount last season for AC Milan, the French central midfielder, formerly of PSG. Started 21 games in all competitions, which, you know, in a 50-odd game season, it's not the worst amount of starts. As Emerson Royal on the far side, going into the midfield, it's a Fofana, trying to switch out to the left. It's a brilliant ball, finds Leao, about 20 yards from goal. Left-footed cross goes in, comes off the thigh of Camuzzo, and it falls to Dodo, who takes it away from Hernandez. And the right back needs to clear it here. It's a poor clearance. It's gone straight to Leao, cutting inside from the left wing. Wants the 1-2 there with Morata, headed away by Dodo. Drops to Adli, who can shield the ball away from Morata. And again, free kick one there for Adli. Just a bit of a pullback there from Alvaro Morata. And there is Luciano Spalletti, the Italy manager, in attendance tonight. Of course, international break is back next week. Well, this week coming up, which is a big shame for all football fans, really, because, you know, I don't think we exactly get gripped by Nation League football in the international break. De Gea has it on the 6-yard line, lifts it forward. It's a high ball beyond the halfway line. Moise Kean jumps for it, but it's Tomori to win the header. Drops though for Bove for Fiorentina, and it goes forward. A progressive pass from Adli to find Goodmanson. It's now Adli with a left back. Well, it was Bove. Now the halfway line to Camuzzo, the right centre back. Going forward to Dodo, cut out though really well by Reinders. Drive down the left-hand side into the Fiorentina half. He's got Leao to his left. He's got a couple to his right. One of them is Morata. He switches it to Emerson Royale. It's just slightly behind him, but he can turn back and control it rather well. In fairness there, Emerson Royale, not the best of passes from Alvaro Morata, who's back in the Serie A once again after spending a couple of years at Juventus. I found out because he's moved here permanently for just under £11 million, Morata, and apparently his combined transfer fees are estimated €202 million. So a lot of money has been spent on Alvaro Morata, who's had a quite decorated career, in fairness, altogether, as he comes towards the end of it, as it's crossed into the box. It's Morata to flick it to the far post, and that's just a yard or so wide. From around 12 yards out, I'm sure that was Morata who got the header to the ball. Emerson Royale digging out the cross, and yeah, it was Morata who got his head to it. Just a yard or so wide there in the end by the Spaniard. Not far away at all from the 31-year-old. He's already scored twice against Fiorentina in his career when he played for Juventus. Both of them came away from home in the 15-16 season and then the 18-19 season. David Gea is going to take this goal kick long, just less than 15 minutes in. And that's the first big chance of the game, really. That header just wide of the post as De Gea sends it into the Milan half. Headed forward by Gabbia, flicked on by Fofana. Headed out wide left by Cataldi for Fiorentina. It's now with Adli. Gersons brought down. Free kick for Fiorentina. Taken quickly. Well, was taken quickly, but the referee's just having a word with Christian Pulisic. Don't think Christian Pulisic is agreeing with the decision, as they do take it eventually, and it's Adli to go for the switch out to the right wing towards Colpani, headed forward by Hernandez, completes a headed 1-2 with Leao. He almost completed it, but couldn't quite keep it in on the near side. Theo Hernandez, that's now Fiorentina with a thrown back to the halfway line to Pietro Camuzzo, who's signed a 4-year extension of his contract last month to keep his stay here until 2028 as a minimum. In the centre circle now with Cataldi. Out to the right, bit of space. Colpani has it. He's got Ododo overlapping, but he cuts onto his left. Edge of the box. He's going to wrap his foot around the ball and fire it over the crossbar. He's usually a little bit better than that. Andrea Colpani scored 8 times last season. On loan this season from Monza, Colpani, following his manager over here to Fiorentina. As it's Milan to play out from the back. So with their right back Emerson Royale being closed down by Bove, goes down the line to Pulisic, who returns it to Royale, and then back to Gabbia in the defensive third. It's now the goalkeeper Mike Maignan, who spent 6 years coming through at PSG before really making his name with Lille, where he won the Ligue 1 title with them. Given away on halfway by Morata. It's now with Moise Keane. 1-2 with Goodmanson. Brilliant football. Goodmanson tries to slip it through once more for Keane, which well cut out there in the end by... Not quite sure who that was. I think it was Reinders. Again, Morata gives it away. Can't link up the play. I think it was Reinders, yeah, in the box, who intercepted that ball from Goodmanson. Just in front of the centre circle. It's Adli. 5-yard pass to his left to Cataldi. It's now on the far side with Gersons. Adli again, now in the centre circle. Low ball out to the right and helped on by Goodmanson here to Colpani. Good football from Fiorentina. Dodo overlaps again. Colpani outside of the boot, ball into the box where it's punched by Maignan. To the corner of the box where it's Theo Hernandez to kick it forward. Cut out by Camuzzo. It's now Goodmanson dinking it into the box, but no one's made a run. And that'll be kept in by Maignan. And it will be AC Milan who continue to play here despite Fiorentina having 2 players down. And the referee eventually blows his whistle. I think as Theo Hernandez was going to clear that ball in the corner of the box, he's just caught Dodo as he did it. Definitely not a penalty. He definitely got the ball first. I'm not quite sure what Moise Keane was hurt about. VAR are checking it. It's just as Hernandez kicked through the ball, he also caught a bit of Dodo, but that would be a very harsh penalty in my opinion. Moise Kean just knocked into there by Maignan. That's where his pain was when Maignan came to punch. Still checking that penalty, and I'll be very surprised if they give it. Hernandez is trying to play the ball anyway. He's definitely not trying to kick him. I don't think he even sees him. But he kicks the ball first, for me. Theo Hernandez. It's right in the corner of the box. I mean, it's just in the box where the foul happens, I think. And it comes to Hernandez. He goes to kick it. Kicks the ball first, I think, and then kicks the boot. And the referee's going to look at it. I'll be surprised if this is given as a penalty. Or does Dodo get the first touch? Ooh, it looks like Dodo kicks the ball first, actually, and then Hernandez kicks his foot. I've seen that wrong. From a slowed down replay, it does look like it's Dodo who gets the touch of the ball, and the penalty's been given. Fiorentina have a spot kick, assisted by VAR. The referee, Luca Pareto, points to the spot. The two involved have a discussion about the event. Dodo and Hernandez. It does look like Dodo just beats into it, gets his foot to the ball, and then Hernandez kicks through his foot. And after having a look at the VAR monitor, the referees decided to give a penalty. I think AC Milan will definitely see it as harsh, but it's a little bit of a silly foul to give away from the AC Milan captain on his birthday. As it looks like it will be Moise Kean to take it. He's the one who's got the ball in his hand at the moment, just tucked under his arm. Looking rather focused here, Moise Kean, who has got 5 goals so far this season. 2 of them in Ligue 1, scored in Game 3 against Monza, and then in Game 4 against Atalanta. Then he's scored 2 in the Conference League qualifying, then scored on Thursday off the bench against the New Saints. So he has started his Fiorentina career really positively, Moise Kean, and this could be a huge goal. It's been a rather even start to the game, but this could just edge Fiorentina in front. It's Moise Kean against Maignan. The referee has blown his whistle, right-footed, stuttered run-up, and saved by the goalkeeper. Diving to his right, wasn't exactly in the corner, but the goalkeeper still had to guess the right way and get his body behind the ball. And it remains 0-0. Oh, it's a really poor penalty. Fiorentina players are saying there was some encroachment when he was taking the penalty, but the referee didn't see it, and play continues. He tried to get it into the bottom left corner there, Moise Kean, but it's barely gone near the post. More central than anything is Abraham's in. Cuts it to the edge of the box here to Leao, central area. Right-footed, it's blocked by Dodo. Drops to Hernandez, who heads it across to the right here towards Emerson Royal. Beats Moise Kean to it. Falls to the ground. As Moise Kean continues to chase it and eventually goes out for a throw-in for Milan. And what a save from Mike Maignan. They were worried about losing for a while because he came off in their first Champions League game against Liverpool. But he's returned straight after that game. And he's kept 2 clean sheets in the league as Dodo, marauding from right back, plays it down the line here to Goodmanson. Low ball goes in. Tomori intercepts. And Hernandez kicks it away, but only as far as Goodmanson. Still alive in the final third for Fiorentina. It's on the right-hand side of Adley. Playing it inside to Colpani. Knocked over on the edge of the box. Yes, he is. Tomori, I think, is going to be booked for his reaction. And it was Morata who just caught the right winger on the edge of the area. And it feels like Fikayo Tomori he's had a few decisions go against him and his team. Because he had a foul given against him early on, which he disagreed with. I believe he'll probably disagree with the penalty, and he disagrees with that. It just looks like Colpani is already going down before any contact from Morata, but it's a free kick right on the edge of the box here for Fiorentina, right on the right-hand side, in front of the 18-yard box, as Moise Kean will more than likely be rewatching that penalty back in his mind. He needs to forget it, as it was a big chance for him to score another goal in his new colours of purple, as he's joined Fiorentina at the start of this season. Free kick taken by Colpani, and I don't know what he's trying to do. Past the left-hand side of the post, and it was just kept rising and rising. It was a shocking free kick. As what was also shocking was the penalty, if we're going to be completely honest. Don't get me wrong, it was hit with power, and Maignan had to guess the right way. But it needs to be more in the corner. 100% needs to be more in the corner. And it remains 0-0, 25 minutes in. Emerson Morella on the halfway line, on the far side, having to go backwards after being pressed here by Bove. It's Gabbia who goes down the line, cut out by Adley. Gets the ball returned to him from Gersons. Tries to go back to the German fullback, and he keeps it away from Pulisic. And it's now a switch ball in behind by Cataldi. Can't find Colpani. Straight into the gloves of Maignan, who rolls it quickly forward here to Tomori. This game has definitely ebbed and flowed for both. Obviously, the biggest chance has been the penalty. But AC Milan weren't too far away with an Alvaro Morata header earlier on, which was just a yard wide. But other than that, it has been pretty even, really. Of course, Fiorentina have just had the momentum in the last couple of minutes with the penalty, but weren't able to dispatch. As Gabbia, again, dinks it down the right channel, looking for Morata this time. Header away from him. And it's now with Cataldi. It goes back to the goalkeeper of De Gea, being shut down by Pulisic. He clears it forward first time. High ball towards the Fiorentina right, headed forward by Hernandez. And it'll roll out of play for Fiorentina, throwing just inside their own half with their right-back Dodo. He throws it to the right centre-back of Pietro Camuzzo, who's only making his 10th ever Serie A appearance. Just starting to make his breakthrough into the first team. It's Bove on the left wing, tries to replay it through towards Gersons, cut out by Emerson Royal, squares the ball to the left back Theo Hernandez, who on the edge of the 18-yard box for AC Milan has plenty of time on the ball. Spent the majority of his career coming through Atletico Madrid, Theo Hernandez, then spent a couple of years at Real Madrid before being signed for €20 million by AC Milan. All the twos for him for appearances, 222 now for Theo Hernandez. Still with AC Milan on the halfway line. Just peeling out wide here for Kaio Tomori, and he brings it forward and finds Theo Hernandez. Not really being closed down. Goes into the middle here to Reinders. Everyone behind the ball for Fiorentina except Moise Kean. Worked out to the right-hand side into Pulisic in the final third. Running at Bove. Laying it off to his right to Emerson Royal. Finds the run of Morata. He then pulls it into the box. Can't quite find a white shirt cleared there in the end by the centre-half of Ranieri. Can't be held up though by Moise Kean. Lifted out to the right by Tomori. Headed forward by Gabbia. Kept in by Emerson Royal. And it's a foul. As Emerson Royal played it, it was caught in the face. And the referee's given him the decision. Oh, it was a hand in the chest. And he's gone to hold his face. Embarrassing, really, there from Emerson Royal, who, in fairness, his play acting has got himself a free kick. But he was definitely touched in the chest there. Not the face. So on the right-hand side, AC Milan have a chance here to deliver it in the box, but they go short to Pulisic. He's still got Emerson Royal in support, and he uses him to his right in the final third. Crosses to the near post. It's a header by Gabbia again. Can't direct it towards goal. It's another goal kick for Fiorentina. Does seem a threat from set pieces, and that's how they won the Milan derby a couple of weeks ago. AC Milan, a Matteo Gabbia header in the 89th minute won it for them. As it's Fiorentina on the far side, Bove finds Adley, then lifts it down the left-hand side. Gersons will chase it. And Gabbia will get there, but he messes up and he slips over the ball. And he touches it out for a throw-in. And that's taken quickly by Gersons. Bove delivers it into the box, headed away by Tamori. Only as far as Cataldi, who hits it straight at Keane, who puts it into the back of the net through the legs of the goalkeeper. But as it was cannoned off him from the original shot, he was stood in an offside position. And the flag's up and the goal won't count. Cataldi hit it quite sweetly. I don't think it was going on target where it hit Keane. Let's have a look. No, that would have been going wide. Hit his chest and then eventually dropped to him where he had the shot in the back of the net. But was well offside as that shot was taken by Cataldi. Just less than half an hour in, Fiorentina have had a penalty saved and a goal disallowed. But again, anyone could have seen that that goal was going to be disallowed. He was stood in an offside position when he blocked his own player's shot by accident. It's Maignan on the ball, takes it out of the 18-yard box and goes to his right to Gabbia. Just holding the ball up here, not rushing it at the moment. Goes across to Tamori. So the left back Hernandez. As for AC Milan, they've still got some challenging Champions League games to come. Even though they've already played Leverkusen and Liverpool, they've still got to go away to Real Madrid, and they've got to host the likes of Girona, who can be a challenging side to face. And they have scored in 7 of their 8 games in all competitions. AC Milan, the only game they've not scored in so far this season was that last game in the week, in that 1-0 defeat away in the Champions League to Leverkusen. Theo Hernandez from the left back position drives inside and finds Leao, who's almost in the central midfield position, drives towards the edge of the box. In the box he goes and shoots left-footed, and he finds it over the crossbar towards the near post. AC Milan want a corner, claiming there was a slight deflection. Let's have a look. That definitely came off the glove of De Gea. I'm sure of it. I'm sure he got a fingertip to that. He's looked dangerous though tonight, Rafael Leao. He's not been on the ball too often, but when he has, he's looked really good, and he's been, they've failed to really get close to him. As that should have definitely been a corner, by the way. That came off the glove of De Gea, and Paulo Fonseca, the AC Milan manager, is absolutely fuming that that's not been given, and he's already been booked by the referee for his arguments. But like I say, that's definitely should have been a corner. That Leao shot. Oh, and it has been given. He's changed his mind. They didn't show me that. It is a corner. So it's going to be an in-swinger from the left back Hernandez. Couple of options on the edge of the area. Puts it to the far post where Tamori tries to get up there, but can't get the header. Bounces straight out of play for a goal kick. 31.5 minutes in here. It's 0-0, but it's been a rather eventful first half. Quite feisty at times, but when isn't the Italian game? But a penalty saved. AC Milan have come close. Moise Kean has had the ball in the back of the net, but it was disallowed. He's got it here in the right wing position. Holds it up. About 10 yards inside the AC Milan half. Goes back to the halfway line to Dodo. Plenty of time on the ball here for the Brazilian right back. Waiting for the right movement. Goes into the middle to Goodmanson. Back out wide to Dodo. Spinning away from Reinders. Down the line for Colpani. Keeps it away from one AC Milan player. Then goes for the switch. It's a brilliant ball. Controlled by Gersons. It's now to Adley. Everyone behind the ball for the visitors. Cataldi in the centre circle. Goes right to Camuzzo. First pass comes off Leao, but straight back to him. And he decides to go backwards to De Gea. He's on the edge of the box for Fiorentina. Out to the left it goes to Adley. Facing his own goal. Going across the box here to Camuzzo. Lifts it towards the halfway line on the right wing position. Headed away by Hernandez. Picked up by Reinders, who can drive forward with the ball. Leaves it for Leao. Back inside to Morata, the number 7. Plays it along the floor to the right here to Pulisic. 1-on-1 with Bove. Lays it off to his right to Emerson Royal in the final third. Can he work across into the box? Goes back down the line into the box for Pulisic, who turns away from one and crosses it in towards the far post. It's a very important header from Dodo. A second one away. Only as far as the edge of the box, but it's controlled by Goodmanson, whose ball's loose and can't find Adley. And it's gone behind for a throw-in for AC Milan. And Fofana has tried to take it quickly. And he's almost just thrown it half-heartedly because he was actually trying to throw it to Emerson Royal. But the referee's seen that as a foul throw. And it's Fiorentina to attack down the left-hand side now because of it. In the final third, it's Bove. Tries to replay it through to Gerson's, cleared though in the box by Gabbia. Throw in for Fiorentina. About 11 minutes left of the first 45 minutes here. Still goalless. Just lacking that clinical edge so far in the game. Gerson's. Not a lot of space for him on that far side. Kicks it off Emerson Royale. And that'll be a throw-in for the home side once again. Don't really face too many of the big boys until the end of the year. Fiorentina. They've got to play Roma at the end of this month. They play Juventus at the end. They play Inter at the end of November. As a shot towards goal is off the post and in. From nothing against his parent club, Yassine Adli scores for Fiorentina. And in his first 2 starts for the club, he scored 2 goals. Scored on Thursday night against New Saints. And he scored again today against the team where he's on loan from. From the throw-in, he controlled the ball and just found himself in the box, turning away from Pulisic. It's far too easy. And in the corner of the box, on the left-hand side, he's just bent it to the far corner. And off the post and in. That's a brilliant goal from Yassine Adli. Showing the current manager why he shouldn't have sent him out on loan. Why he should have kept him around. But he's been shipped out to Fiorentina. And he's showing his worth. That's a great goal. Did it all on his own. Got the ball from the throw-in. Turned away from Pulisic. Drove himself into the 18-yard box. And wrapped it into the bottom right corner. No chance for Maignan. As we're about to hit the 36th minute, it's Fiorentina 1, AC Milan 0. Yassine Adli, take a bow. That's brilliant. So unexpected. I didn't even think it was coming. Too busy talking about Fiorentina's upcoming games against the big teams in the league. And they're winning this one against AC Milan. As they're attacking again down the left wing. In the final third, it's Bove. Keeping the ball away from Fofana. Towards the corner flag. Plays it inside to Goodmanson. Out wide to Adli. Back it goes to Cataldi. And it's now with the centre-half and the captain, Ranieri. Goes forward here to Cataldi. Out wide left now to Bove. Back to the halfway line to Adli. Who's ran the show as well tonight. Forget the goal. He's had a really good performance in that midfield. Just in general with his passing play and trying to dictate how the game's going. It's a great sliding challenge from Leao, tackling Dodo. That's brilliant. He's got green grass to run into. Leao deep into the Fiorentina half, into the box. Early left-footed shot, didn't quite catch it. Straight down the throat of David De Gea. And it remains Fiorentina 1, AC Milan 0. The goal from Yassine Adli, the man who is on loan from AC Milan. Of course, in the Premier League, you can't play against the club you're on loan from. But in Italy, that rule does not exist. And if you loan a player to a club in the same division, they can come and haunt you. And that's what Yassine Adli's done. Hadn't started any games for his new club until this week, where he started in the Conference League and scored, and he's started again tonight and scored. There's AC Milan on the ball, near side, midway side the Fiorentina half. It's Rafael Leao, one-on-one with the right back here. Well, not the right back, the right winger who's filling in as a right back, Colpani. Plays it into the midfield here to Reinders. Just needs to up the tempo a little bit more if they can here, AC Milan. It's on the halfway line with Tomori. Curls it out to the far side here to Emerson Royale. Not many options forward, so has to go back to Gabbia. Again, just taking too long on the ball here. No sufficient options going forward. So finds Tomori. It's now out wide left to Reinders. Down the line it goes to Leao in the final third. Wants it on the right foot. Tries to play it in the box towards Hernandez. Cleared but not as far as Morata. It's now Fofana to clip it out to the right hand side towards Pulisic. Header away from him by Gersons. who gets the return ball from Bove, then clears it down the left-hand side here to Gudmundsson. Bit of time on the ball here for the Icelandic international. On the halfway line, plays it into the middle here to Adley. Quickly forward it goes. And Fiorentina look to break. It's Dodo forward from right back. He's got Kolpani ahead of him. Tries to slip it through for Moise Keane instead. Kolpani controls, lifts it towards goal, and over the bar it goes. And it's a goal kick. Fiorentina have definitely been the better side in this first half. After a pretty even opening 15 so minutes, Fiorentina have really grown into the game. They could be 2-0 up because they've had a penalty saved during this first half. Moise Keane missing it. Saved by Maignan. Through ball towards Keane. Just bounced off the knee of Maignan. Straight to Kolpani, who couldn't quite divert it into the goal. Long kick from Maignan, headed away by Camuzzo. Well, as far as Emerson Royal, who battles with Bove, and he comes out on top. But then fouls Gersons, and that'll be a free kick for Fiorentina on halfway, on that far side. Finished 8th last season, Fiorentina, and in fairness, that's around about them where they've been finishing. Even though they've got to back-to-back Conference League finals and has lost both, losing the first one to West Ham and then losing the second one to Olympiacos at the end of last season. You know, they finished 8th last season, they finished 8th the season before that, 7th before that, 14th, 10th, 16th, 8th, 5th, 4th. So they've only been finishing in the top 4. The last time they finished top 4 was in 2015. The last top 3 finish for Fiorentina was back in 2001, which is absolutely crazy. They've only won 2 Serie A titles, and their last one was 56 years ago. So, even though they've been quite successful in Europe with the Conference League, they have been struggling in the league domestically for quite some time. As De Gea kicks it long, header away there by Gabbia. Not kept in by Christian Pulisic. And that's a throw-in on halfway for Fiorentina on the far side. Less than 5 minutes to go of the first half. And the side from Florence have the lead. It's their 10th game of the season in all competitions, looking for their 4th win. Beat Puskas Academia in the Conference League qualifying, and they had to go through penalties to beat them, which was quite a worry. In the second leg, Fiorentina went down to 8 men. I'm not joking yet, they went down to 8 men. Ranieri, the captain tonight, was sent off. Camuzzo was as well. And Martinez Quarta was also sent off in that game. But they were able to see it through to penalties and win on spot kicks, which I think was rather lucky for Fiorentina, who will be looking to try and win that competition once and for all after 2 failed finals. It's AC Milan on the ball. It's with Theo Hernandez. Finding Tamori, who's still inside his own half here. Looking for a long ball forward. He's just going to keep it simple to Morata. Around the corner for Reinders. Deflects back towards Morata, whose control is poor. Kicks forward there by Camuzzo, who's been caught by Morata. And it's a booking for the Spaniard. Let's have a look here. The Morata touch was poor. They've both gone in. And Camuzzo got there first. And then was just caught by Morata. So foul by the former Atletico man, who I don't think can quite believe the free kick's gone against him. So quite a few bookings so far in this one. As Fiorentina take the free kick into the centre circle. It's Gudmundsson going back to Camuzzo. He's now in the 18-yard box with David De Gea, who in his last season playing in the Premier League, he won the Golden Glove, with 17 clean sheets in Ten Hag's first season, which was rather impressive from the Spaniard. Played over 500 times for Manchester United. As Fiorentina have worked it up to the halfway line, then Cataldi sees a switch out to the left, and it's in behind into the box, but Maignan's off his line quickly to stop the ball going through to Eduardo Bove, making his 70th appearance in Serie A tonight. Bove, on loan from Roma, played 72 times under Mourinho. He was the one who brought him into the Roma first team. It's now Milan with the ball. Pulisic. Forward to Morata, who's drifted out wide. Back heels into Tammy Abraham. Then into Pulisic in the central area, who's flicked it through for Reinders, who goes down. And it's a penalty. Caught there by the captain, Lucas Ranieri. And it's the first time that AC Milan have moved the ball with pace and intent. And they've gone right through the Fiorentina side. Impressive football. Reinders going down at the end of it. Let's have a look. Abraham flicked it to Pulisic, who, whilst falling, played a brilliant through ball to Reinders, who 12 yards out, takes a tumble. It looks like a penalty to me. Just shoved to the ground there by the captain, Lucas Ranieri, who won his 75th appearance for the club. Might have just gifted AC Milan a penalty right before the break. I find it hard to believe that VAR would potentially overrule this one. So despite arguments from the Fiorentina side, I don't think this decision will be overturned. And it's going to be Theo Hernandez on his birthday to take this penalty. We've already had a penalty in the game up the other end, and Moise Kean had his saved. Can Theo Hernandez dispatch his? Scored in their last game in the league against Lecce from open play. Can he score this one from the penalty spot? It's De Gea staring Theo Hernandez in the eye, trying to find any inkling of where he might try and dispatch this. It's the left foot of the captain to have his penalty saved. 2 for 2, both at each end. And that penalty was a lot better. And that was a superb save. It was going to the bottom right corner. De Gea guessed right, went to his left, and palmed it behind for a corner, which they've taken short, and it's been delivered in by Hernandez, headed behind by Keane. And on the opposite side, that'll be another corner for Milan. And we've had 2 penalties in this first half, and they've both been saved, not missed, saved. That's rare. As again, they take it short. It's now back with Leao on the angle. 1-on-1 with Goodmanson on the left wing. Goes on the outside of him and puts it in the box. Chested down by Abraham. Shot towards goal and it deflects straight to De Gea. We've had 2 minutes added on and we've almost played the 2 minutes. What an eventful end to the first half. He'll be kicking himself there, Theo Hernandez, who's got 2 Serie A goals in his last 3 games. Both of them away from home. Sorry, both of them at home. He was looking for his first away goal. He hit it low and hard to the bottom right corner. And it's really well saved by De Gea. I've definitely seen better penalties, but it was a little bit better than that one about 20 minutes ago from Moise Kean. As that will be that for the first half. The referee blows the half-time whistle, and that was a really eventful first half. I've thoroughly enjoyed that so far here, as we've decided to turn our attention to the Serie A for tonight's commentary. And the first main moment of the game was a penalty given to Fiorentina in the 20th minute. Theo Hernandez, the one giving it away, kicking the boot of Dodo as he tried to clear the ball, but instead kicked the foot of the Brazilian right back, and it gave Moise Kean the chance to put Fiorentina ahead, but he had his penalty saved by Mike Maignan, who guessed right, diving to his right and keeping the ball out of the goal. But it wasn't too long after where it was Fiorentina putting themselves ahead 10 minutes before the break. It's the man who is on loan from AC Milan, Yacine Adli, received the ball from a throw-in on the left wing position, decided to drive inside into the box and wrapped a shot to the far corner of his right boot. It's a brilliant goal. And against his current side, who he's on loan from, he scored against. and he made it 1-0. But that wasn't the end of the drama in this game. Right before the break, AC Milan cut right through the Fiorentina team with some really quick passing and good movement, and it was Reinders who was slipped through by Pulisic, and as he went to shoot 12 yards out, he was bundled to the ground by the captain, Lucas Ranieri, and that gave responsibility to the opposite captain, Hernandez, to score from the penalty spot, which he could not do. He went for the bottom right corner, and it was saved by David De Gea. And it's been quite even, I'd say. I think Fiorentina have had better chances, but AC Milan have had more possession. They've had one more shot, two more on target. I think overall, and the general flow of the game, it's been rather even. But the scoreline isn't even. At half-time here, it is Fiorentina 1, AC Milan 0. Like I say, what a first half that was. Thoroughly enjoyable half of football here in the Serie A. As for half-time, I'm going to depart. I'll be back for second half live commentary. As at the moment, at half-time, it's Fiorentina 1, AC Milan 0. We are back for the second half as Fiorentina currently lead AC Milan by a goal to nil, but that doesn't even tell you half of the story of that first half. It was a brilliant first half. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Sometimes Italian football can be a bit of a hard watch. I know that's sometimes, an easy thing to say about Italian football. Oh, it's slow, it's defensive. I wouldn't exactly agree with the defensive bit, because there is obviously a lot of attacking, but for me, the attacking is just quite slow at times. But tonight, Fiorentina have looked the better side personally, moving it a lot quicker. We've had 2 penalties in the first half, and they were both saved by each goalkeeper. Moise Kean had Fiorentina's saved at 0-0, and then they went and scored 15 minutes later through Yassine Adli. And then AC Milan had one right before half-time. Theo Hernandez took it after it was won by Reinders, and De Gea saved it, guessing the right way. Brilliant save with his left hand. So even though it just says 1-0 on the scoreline, we've had a lot more drama on the pitch. Moise Keane's penalty, he was aiming for the bottom left corner, but it barely moved down the middle. Poor penalty, but like I say, Maignan got to go the right way. And then, like I say, Theo Hernandez's penalty was more in the corner. Again, not dead in the corner. I've seen better penalties. But De Gea guessed the right way, saved it, pushed it away, and he kept it at 1-0 to go in at half-time. As both of these 2 sides currently just colliding in the middle of the tunnel here. AC Milan on the left-hand side, Fiorentina on the right. As AC Milan start making their way out onto the pitch as they trail by 1-0. We lost 1 game so far this season in the league, AC Milan, and that was away against Parma in their first away game of the season. And as we mentioned before, they've already lost 2 of their opening 2 games in the Champions League against Liverpool at home and then Leverkusen away in the week. They lost 3-1 at home to Liverpool after taking a lead in the 3rd minute via Pulisic, but then Kanate, Van Dijk and Szoboszlai scored the Liverpool goals in the end. And then they lost 1-0 against Leverkusen in the week. 1 goal scored in the 51st minute by Victor Boniface. And that's why, really, League and Europe, it's been a mixed start for AC Milan. And for Fiorentina, it's a bit more of the same. Just drawn too many. They've drawn 4 of their opening 6 games in the league. 1-1 against Parma away, 0-0 at home to Venezia, 2-2 at home to Monza, 0-0 against Empoli away. Not the greatest of draws, really, because for Fiorentina, those 4 games they've drawn, they're winnable games, very winnable games. And of course, they haven't won them, and, hopefully that doesn't catch them up at the end of the season. If they miss out on Europe by a couple of points, you can look back at the start of the season and see where they've dropped silly points. I don't think we've had any changes at half-time. There was none in the first half made. There was no forced substitutions from any possible injuries. So it's as we were in the first half, but it's Fiorentina who lead 1-0 through Yassine Adli. As it's AC Milan to kick off, kicking left to right, Fiorentina right to left towards the goal where there's no fans behind it because there's currently construction going on at the moment as Morata can't quite feed the ball through to Abraham. It's now on the halfway line with Goodmanson, out to the right wing here to Colpani, who's going to run at Theo Hernandez here. He plays it down the line for Dodo, who attacks from right back, kicks it off the French full-back, and in the final third on that far side, it's a Fiorentina throw-in. Quick start from the home side, who are looking to build on their lead. As after the international break, they go away from home and play Lecce. And then in the week, on the 24th of October, they've got to travel away again, in Europe this time, to St. Gallen. And then they're back at home at the end of the month to take on Roma. So 3 weeks until their next home game for Fiorentina. As for AC Milan, they come back and play at home after the international break. They host Udinese, and then they also host Club Brugge in the Champions League, and then they're away again in 3 weeks' time when they take on Bologna, who is currently under the management of the former Fiorentina manager, Vincenzo Italiano, as it's Fiorentina on the ball, defensive third here. The captain lifting up to the halfway line, chested down by Gabbia for Milan, hooked down the line by Emerson Royale, straight out of play. He was looking for Pulisic, couldn't find him. Fiorentina throw-in as we need to get the timer started for the second half. As there is the Fiorentina manager, Palladino, Naples-born manager. This is his 77th game in charge of a Serie A game. He's won 26, lost 25 and drew 25. A very even record in Serie A for Palladino. As Fiorentina go up to the halfway line, flicked on by Goodmanson. Be chased down here by Bove, headed back from Emerson Royale, and it will reach Maignan in the 18-yard box. It was looking a short header back there, but in the end it was long enough to get through to the goalkeeper. As AC Milan have it on halfway here with Tijani Reinders. 26 years of age, the Dutchman. He made his debut for the Netherlands last year in September and was a part of the Euro squad as well. For the Netherlands, it got as far as the semi-final stage where they were beaten by England. Lifted up to the edge of the box. Morata goes down. No foul given on the edge of the box. Just a bit of grappling and holding and hugging with Camuzzo. And Fiorentina have it with their right back Dodo. Forward to Calpani. To Cataldi, who plays it around the corner and in behind for Moise Kean, who's away. The flag stays down for now. Moise Kean slips it beyond Maignan, and the flag goes up. Moise Kean could have had a hat-trick so far in this game. He missed a penalty. He had the ball in the back of the net in the first half, but was offside. And he's just bent his run there and gone a little bit too early. 1-on-1 with Maignan and slipped it through his legs. Good finish, composed as well. But that will be offside, and again, it remains 1-0. We are about to be 3.5 minutes into this second half, and again, Fiorentina on the front foot in terms of chances at goal, despite the offside flag going up. Header away there by Ranieri. Gabbia heads it into the middle towards Reinders. He won't get there. Header Moise Kean in the centre circle, looking to play it out wide. Can't chop away from Fofana. It's now picked up by Morata. Plays it forward for Tammy Abraham. It's a close control, and then he plays it through for Leao. Can't quite get there ahead of Dodo. Cleared by De Gea. Up in the air, out to the Fiorentina right-hand side. Shoving the back there by Colpani on Hernandez. And it's a free kick for AC Milan. And they've already switched out to the right flank here to Emerson Royale. Bit isolated on that right flank. Plays inside and then gives it away. Looking for Reinders. There's Bove. Adley. Plays it forward. Leaves Gersons in a bit of a sticky situation. He loses out. It's now worked to Abraham in the box. Trying to shoot. Blocked. Cannons back towards him but can't control it. And Goodmanson caught there by Abraham. And that'll be a free kick Fiorentina. It's been a really difficult afternoon. It's been a difficult night for Tammy Abraham. On loan from Roma. Barely been involved in the game. And he was barely involved last season because he injured his ACL at the end of the season before. And he only returned in March of this year. Played 12 times in all competition. Did score once away against Napoli at the end of April in the league. It's been a frustrating last year and a half really for Tammy Abraham with that ACL injury and then being shipped out on loan as well to AC Milan. And tonight, not really been in the game that much. I'd be surprised if he lasts any longer in this game really. As AC Milan have it back. Hernandez winning the foot race on Colpani. Yeah, it's Tamori to bring you out from the back. Not being closed down at all at the moment for AC Milan. We did finish second last season, but they were 19 points off Inter, who won the league, and they were 4 points ahead of Juventus in third. So kind of comfortable in second, but absolutely nowhere near first, and they did win 10 of their 19 away games last season. It's not the greatest of away records. They lost 4 times on their travels in the league, AC Milan. It's Inter, Atalanta, Monza and Torino. Of course, one home and away against Fiorentina. As it's Fofana, midway inside the Fiorentina half, plays a ball into the box. Morata on the right side, can't quite get the ball out of his feet, cleared away from him, and headed backwards by Moise Kean, then headed forward by Bove to Moise Kean on the left wing, who's been dragged to the ground, and that will be a free kick. And it's a rightly given free kick, well won by Moise Kean, who was showing the other side to his game tonight. That real determination and having to do the hard yards of pressing and holding up the ball, having to use his strength that he's got. As Magnon's out of his goal in the right-back position, and he's had to hurry a clearance out of play. They didn't show how that occurred. They were showing a replay of the offside on Moise Kean earlier on in the half when he was caught offside as he finished a through ball. And Fiorentina have it on the left wing. It's Gerson's the fullback. It's going to go for an early cross. It's whipped in. It's a great ball, and it's gone all the way through. Hernandez helps it away, gets in front of Colpani. Pulled down by the winger, free kick for AC Milan. That's a brilliant ball by the German fullback, Robin Gersons, who again is well educated on this division. Spent plenty of his career at Atalanta. And also playing for Inter Milan as well. Played in 6 Milan derbies in the end, Robin Gersons. As a diagonal ball into the box towards Leao. I believe it's come off Dodo. And it's going to be a corner. Yeah, ball played in behind them by Fiorentina. And Magnon's tried to come out of his box and head it away. Didn't really head it away that far. Sent it wide, not far. And had to try and go and clear it himself. And then his second clearance was sliced. And it was all a bit of a mess. But he got away with it in the end. As on this near side, we've got an AC Milan corner. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger from Hernandez. If he doesn't go short, he won't go short. Directly goes into the far post towards Morata. Heads it across. Into the air by Gabbia, who's caught, and that's a penalty. Moise Kean has gone to clear the ball, doesn't get the ball, gets the man instead. And the penalty has been given very quickly by the referee. There was no hesitation there by Luca Perotto. Header went across. Who gets the ball first? Like I said, the penalty was given immediately by the referee, Luca Perotto. Sorry, not Perotto, Perotto. And it looks like Moise Kean kicks through Gabbia's leg to then kick the ball. So it's almost like he uses the Milan defender's leg to kind of kick his leg forward up to then kick the ball up in the air. This will be a third penalty of the night. VAR's having a look. And the penalty has been given. VAR agree with the referee's decision. Lucas Ranieri, the Fiorentina captain, cannot quite believe the decision. Moise Kean is going from hero to villain here rather quickly. Missed a penalty in the first half. He's had 2 goals disallowed due to VAR and offside. And now he's given a penalty of his own away. And who will take this one? Theo Hernandez missed one in the first half, right at the end of the half. And now the ball is in the hand of Tammy Abraham. So it looks like they are going to switch up the penalty taker. So it does like it's going to be AC Milan's number 90, Tammy Abraham, to take. He's already scored once for them, and that was in a 4-0 home win against Venezia in the league. This would be a huge goal 10 minutes into the second half to get Milan right back in this game. De Gea has already saved 1 penalty tonight. Could he save a second? The weight of expectation is on the shoulders of Tammy Abraham. He's right-footed. Couple of yards for the run-up. Can he beat David De Gea? Tammy Abraham has his penalty saved. This is unbelievable stuff in Florence tonight. De Gea saves again. It's the 3rd penalty that's been saved tonight. And that's a fantastic save. Going the opposite way Tammy Abraham went to De Gea's right this time. Hernandez went to his left, and he saved both. Getting across, right arm out, and again, not the worst penalty. It's in the corner. It's just really well saved by David De Gea. And it remains 1-0. What a crazy game this has been. I've not seen a game like this for a while. And the fact it's only 1-0 is crazy. David De Gea back like he was never away from the game. Theo Hernandez missing one right at the end of the first half. Tammy Abraham missing a penalty at the start of the second. Both of them saved by David De Gea. Again, it could be more in the corner, but even if it goes more in the corner, I think De Gea gets there. He wasn't exactly known for his penalty saving at Manchester United. You might remember that penalty shootout in the Europa League final in the 2020-2021 season when Villarreal and Manchester United's penalty shootout in the final went all the way to the goalkeepers after every outfield player scored. And David De Gea missed his and couldn't save the goalkeepers. But he's on fire tonight. What a game. How frustrating, though, for the AC Milan manager, Paulo Fonseca, who I found out as well, researching the game. I didn't know this, but the manager of AC Milan was born in Mozambique. I'm not joking. That's where he's born. But to Portuguese parents, where they ended up moving back to. Eventually. There was a reason why. I forgot to write it down. Yeah, to a military father. Yeah, that was it. He was in Mozambique for a year and then relocated back to Portugal. I knew that was the reason. Just wasn't confident, wasn't sure. But yeah, born in Mozambique. Crazy. As it's Morata on the left side of the box. It's a Rabona cross in. And it's dealt with at the near post. Cleared away in the end for Fiorentina by their number 15, Pietro Camuzzo. And in the final third on the near side, it's a AC Milan throw-in. And they will be very much scratching their heads, wondering how on earth this is 1-0 to Fiorentina. After 2 penalties for them, both of them saved. Emerson Royal not quite knowing where to throw this. Throws it forward in the end to Fofana. Keeping the ball away from Adley, but then gets it taken off him there. Borve cleared away. Another throw-in in the exact same position for AC Milan. Just over half an hour to go. Fiorentina lead. Throw into Fofana again. Plays it to Emerson Royal. Quick 1-2 with Fofana. Can't get the return ball. Adley in the box. On his right foot. Needs to clear it. It goes high. Out to the Fiorentina right. Flicked back with the header Leao to Hernandez. Well won back there by Leao. Clever header from the Portuguese winger. And it's now Reinders. Driving into a central area. There's space out wide on the right. He'll curl it out to Emerson Royal, who's took up that space. Touches it. Crosses it. And it's blocked by Borve. And it's another throw in for AC Milan again in a similar position as the last. They throw it backwards here to get the ball moving. It's to Youssouf Fofana. Signed from Monaco in the summer. Won more than he lost against PSG. Fofana, as Hernandez whips it into the far post. It's a brilliant ball, and that's a great volley from Pulisic. And there's the equaliser. He cannot stop scoring, the American. It's 4 games in a row where he's found the back of the net. And that might just be the best of the lot. That is a beautifully constructed goal by AC Milan. Worked out to the left wing to Theo Hernandez, who's had a penalty missed in this game. And he's crossed it to the far post, about 6 yards out. Pulisic just stretching his right leg to it. Firing it to the far corner. And it just goes inside the post. De Gea couldn't get near it. The cross is outstanding. The finish is technically brilliant. And finally, AC Milan have got their equaliser after 2 saved penalties. They've got it at 1-1. Christian Pulisic scoring with half an hour to play. So good. From both Theo Hernandez for the cross and that finish from Christian Pulisic is fantastic. It's his 6th goal of the season in all competitions. It's his 5th in Serie A. And like I say, 4 of them have now come in a row against Lecce, Inter, Venezia, now tonight against Fiorentina. As De Gea goes long up towards Moise Kean, headed forward by Tamori. Flicked out wide left by Leao to find Reinders. Midway inside the Fiorentina half, he brings the ball forward. Slowing the pace of the game down, backheeling it to Leao, who then just launches it into the box. Far post again, header away by Gersons. Picked up by Adley, sends it to the left to Goodmanson, who wants to try and go forward, but he's been trapped by Tamori, who wins it back. Sorry, it's Fofana who wins it back. It's now Pulisic on the right side of the box. Pulls it across, it goes beyond Abraham. Went behind him, I think, in fact. Leao slides in with Colpani. And it's a throw-in for Fiorentina. Last touch off Leao. And almost that old Chelsea link-up returning. Abraham and Pulisic, of course, was both once of Chelsea at the same time. As this game has been a really good watch. I've thoroughly enjoyed this Sunday night Serie action. You know, when you have 3 penalties in one game, that's crazy enough. But when they're all saved, not missed, saved, it's even more impressive. As AC Milan have won it back, Fofana picking it up in the midfield. It's now Pulisic working it furthest wide right, and that is Emerson Royal running at Gersons in the corner of the box. He lifts it towards Abraham, who tries to win the header, away by Camuzzo, and then on the volley, Reinders fires it over in the end. And that's, I believe, a goal kick for the home side. And the thing is about the cross, it's a great cross, but it's going away from Pulisic. He's had to really chase it down and just stick a right foot out to it. And to place it the way he has into the far corner is absolutely brilliant. It's his first goal against tonight's opponent in Fiorentina. He's got 21 goals now for AC Milan in 59 appearances across his first season and a bit. It's good numbers from the American, who of course will be off for international duty in the next week. As it's a lifted ball out to the right, played inside to Colpani through Dodo. Colpani back out to Dodo in the box, who puts it across slow. Cannons off Hernandez, and it's a throw-in on the far side for Fiorentina. 27 to play. It's 1-1 here in Florence. It's been an action-packed game. Can't take your eyes off it. Because if you do, you miss a goal, you miss a missed penalty, you'll miss something key in the game. As Fiorentina restart on halfway with Ranieri. High ball in behind, out the left side. It's a great ball. First time cross goes into Keane, who volleys it towards goal and he puts it over. It's route 1, but it worked. First time ball across there for Fiorentina by Robin Gersons, who ran in behind Emerson Royal. Would have been close for offside, but he volleyed it across, and Moise Kean just sending it over the crossbar. Not far away at all by Moise Kean, who'll be wondering how on earth he's not had a goal this game. 2 disallowed for offside. He's had a penalty saved as well. Still 1-1 though, 26 minutes to go. It's AC Milan with it, in their own half. Quite deep in their own half here with Tamori, who was actually born in Canada, I found out. And moved to England at the age of 1. This is his 150th appearance tonight for AC Milan. That's Emerson Royal again attacking down the right-hand side. Plays it into the middle. Morata's got a bit of space. The touch is a bit loose, but he keeps it away from Gersons and crosses off the head of Ranieri. And it's a throw-in in the final third for AC Milan, taken by Emerson Royal. He wasn't exactly liked at Tottenham, a very error-prone player, but they were able to ship him off for £13 million to AC Milan. That's now on the far side with Hernandez. Not being closed down at the moment by Colpani. Goes to his right here to Reinders. Everyone camped in the Fiorentina half other than the AC Milan goalkeeper. So now they're going to try the right-hand side. Gabbia. Tamori on halfway. Forward into the middle to Pulisic. Keeps it away from Keane. Kicks it out wide and finds Royal. Brought down by Bove. Free kick for the Rossoneri. It's on the right wing here. Not 35 yards out. As Pulisic wants to take it quickly. And the referee says no. So like I say, on the right wing, about 30 so yards out from goal, Pulisic has a good angle to cross this in here. Fiorentina are readying up a change of Amir Richardson, 22-year-old Moroccan, coming on shortly as Pulisic crosses it into the box. It's a dangerous ball in and the header goes wide. Again, Gabbia winning another header. Not his first tonight. None of them have gone on target. I think he's won 3 headers in the box so far. And none of them on target. That one was quite far wide in the end. And that change will be made. Been a little bit quiet. Probably the most quiet in that midfield. Danilo Cataldi replaced in the midfield by Amir Richardson, who is a central midfielder himself. Like I say, plays for Morocco. Won bronze at the Olympics in the summer. And he's been brought in this summer from Stade Reims for €10 million. Scored 3 goals last season in Ligue 1. Got plenty of potential. Goal kick from De Gea, headed forward by Gersons. Flicked on by Goodmanson to Bove in the middle of the park. Keeps it away from Fofana. Out to the right to Richardson. Just goes behind Colpani, but he can get it in front of him quickly. In the final third, on his left foot, goes forward to Dodo, who's running at Hernandez. On his left foot, in the box, he clips it to the far post. Reaches Gersons, who's sent away from goal, but he hooks it back into the box. Bounces, headed away by Hernandez. And he gets it away from Dodo, and it's a throw-in for Fiorentina. And he wants to take it quickly, the Brazilian, but can't quite do so. Ends up throwing it backwards to Amir Richardson. Off the bench and straight into the action. As he's giving it away, looking for Yassine Adli. Leao, beyond the halfway line now, driving inside, can't be stopped. Rafael Leao plays a through ball. Pulisic for his second, and what a sliding tackle that is. On the 6-yard line, he had to get that right, Lucas Ranieri, and he did. Stopping Pulisic from scoring twice and putting AC Milan ahead. We've got less than a quarter of the game to go. It's still 1-1. And it looks like AC Milan are the team who look more likely to go on and win this game at the moment. Emerson Royal tries to find Pulisic from the throw-in. Loses out to Bove, right next to the corner flag. Goes into the box to Ranieri. Clears it first time. Up towards Moise Kean. Can't head it forward. Headed inside by Morata. Then headed away by Richardson. Controlled by Moise Kean. Nutmegs Emerson Royal and gets away from the sliding tackle of Morata and keeps it in on the left wing. What a run by Moise Kean. Running at Gabbia. Onto his right foot. Edge of the box. Tries to shoot. Comes off Tomori. Lays it off. Richardson. Once more to his right to Colpani. In the corner of the box. Got the overlap of Dodo. Caught in the box. Dodo continues the attack. Cross goes in. Back to Dodo. Colpani still down. Referee didn't give it. Dodo taking on Hernandez. Chipping it in. Moise Kean with the volley, and over the bar it goes. And Fiorentina are asking for a penalty there. I think it looked like a penalty. Colpani had it, and then he did a cheeky back heel to find the runner Dodo. And as he did the back heel, he was caught by Hernandez in that corner of the box. I'd love to see a replay of that, or a better one. Goes for the ball and catches him. That's a penalty. I know it'd be the 4th of the night. That's a penalty for me. Just drags the ball back to lure in Hernandez and then back heels it into the runner Dodo. And then as Hernandez tries to play the ball, he doesn't play the ball. And this would be Theo Hernandez giving away his second penalty of the night. And he's already missed one himself. This game's been crazy. And it's not been given. Wow. They've not even allowed the referee to go and have a look. That's crazy. That's a penalty for me. It's almost like, because they've already given 3 penalties, it's like they're afraid to give another. That's shocking refereeing and officiating. That's clearly a penalty. They let the referee go and have a look at the first penalty given, which Hernandez gave away in the first half, but then they've not let him go and have a look at that. Where's the consistency? If you're letting him have a look at one, let him have a look at the other one, because I think that's a penalty to me. I think Fiorentina have every right to be frustrated there. As AC Milan attack Fofana, forward to Pulisic. Through ball for Abraham, who might be onside. He's in the box. He shoots towards the far corner. Saved by the right boot of De Gea. In the air it goes. Helped on by Richardson. Played back by Goodmanson. And Abraham can't quite make the most of it. And it goes out for a goal kick. Abraham, one of 3 players to have a penalty saved tonight. And again there, he couldn't quite beat David De Gea. I think this will definitely lure me into watching more Serie A. I mean, I do watch it mainly every Sunday night, whatever the late kickoff is on a Sunday, because it's usually one of the bigger games with the 2 of the bigger teams playing against each other. But I'm definitely going to make it. I'm going to make myself definitely watch more of these games. I mean, I'm not expecting every week to watch a Serie A game where we get 3 penalties given, offside goals and everything like that. I'm not saying that, but, you know, I think it's a lot more exciting than I give it credit for, the Italian league. As Reinders there just gives away a foul in the right-back position for Fiorentina, and I think picks up a booking for his argument towards the referee. So we've got 18 minutes to play until we hit minute 90. Fiorentina have got a free kick, but it's not going to be taken yet because AC Milan are going to make their first change. And he's slightly hobbling off there. And Rafael Leao has been replaced by Noah Okafor, the Swiss winger. Doesn't seem to be moving all that well, Rafael Leao. He's played well tonight. The stats won't show it because he's not scored or assisted, but he's played well. As Fiorentina go long, Moise Kean gets the knockdown and Goodmanson strikes it! And Fiorentina have the lead again. From back to front within seconds. And they take another lead. The Icelandic playmaker this time is the goal scorer. Albert Goodmanson, on loan from Genoa, scores his 3rd goal for the club. His first 2 came together in their only win in the league so far this season against Lazio at home off the bench. This one comes as a starting player for Fiorentina. And from that free kick, it dropped to the edge of the box where it was just placed down by Moise Kean straight into the path of Goodmanson, who was able to strike it ahead of the onrushing Gabbia. And it was low. It was powerful. It was too much for Mike Maignan, who couldn't get down quick enough to save it. Drilled into the bottom right corner. And on his 50th appearance in this division, Goodmanson scores for Fiorentina. And it's Fiorentina 2, AC Milan 1. Goal from nowhere. They've struggled going forward in the second half, Fiorentina. AC Milan have definitely dominated more of the game in the Fiorentina half, but sometimes you need that in football, just a long ball. And that can cause problems for the opposition defence, and it did that time. And with just over 15 to play, Fiorentina have another lead to defend. And they're going to be doing a lot of defending, I believe, in this last 15 minutes, as Moise Kean has a runner of Richardson to his right, but then he's tackled from behind by Pulisic, doing his defensive work well. And it's now back with Mike Maignan in the AC Milan goal, going to the right-hand side here to Matteo Gabbia. It's now with Yusuf Fofana. Goes into the centre circle to find Morata, allowed to turn forward and whips it out to the right wing to Pulisic. Good-chested touch from the American. Lays it back behind him here to Emerson Royal. Now into the midfield to Fofana. It's now with the left centre-back of Fikayo Tomori. Left once more to Reinders. Goes onto his right foot here. Sees space out wide again for Emerson Royal. Finds him. Just outside the box. Reinders again. Back to Royal. Can he cross it here? Onto his right foot. Crosses to the far post. It's well caught by De Gea. And Fiorentina survived the first real AC Milan attack since going behind. As Fiorentina go long again. Drops to Bove, but from the long kick, Moise Keane was offside. Bit lazy that, really. As we're going to get a change here. And Fiorentina, they're going to make a defensive one. The current man who could win the match here has been brought off. Albert Gudmundsson, on his 50th appearance in this league, will be replaced here. Being brought off with a round of applause because he is the current match winner. And he will be replaced by number 3, Cristiano Biraghi, the 32-year-old who's been at the club now since 2017. In the second change, we'll see the other goal scorer, Yassine Adli, replaced by Christian Kwame, the number 99 for Fiorentina. And for Christian Kwame, he's played AC Milan 8 times in his career, and he's lost all 8. Hopefully his record might change tonight. As Fiorentina win it back in the midfield, Bove finding Kwame. Being pulled down by Morata. Free kick on the halfway line on the far side for the home team. Well won there, straight off the bench. Christian Kwame, who didn't score many goals last season, it must be said. Just the 2 in Serie A. His last in the middle of April against Salernitana. Fiorentina going behind the AC Milan defence again on the right wing. It's Kwame to have it. Dispossessed by Tomori, who can kick it forward, and it drops here to the edge of the box to Reinders. Needs to release it. Goes to the right back here to Emerson Royal. Into the 18-yard box to Gabbia. Forward again to Emerson Royal. Out wide to Christian Pulisic. Still in their own half here. AC Milan need to try and get this ball forward if they can. Last won the Serie A title in the 21-22 season, AC Milan. They've only won 3 Serie A titles in this century. They won it in 03-04, and then in the 10-11 season, then in the 21-22 season. So it's been a frustrating century so far, really, for AC Milan in terms of winning the Serie A title. But they've got possession at the moment, and they'll expect themselves to have all the ball at the moment, with the fact that they are the team trailing. They've won it back, given away on the left-hand side by Fofana, and Richardson drives to the halfway line and plays it back to Biraghi. And forward and out wide right by Bove. Getting the ball back to him from Colpani. It's now to De Gea in the 18-yard box. Quickly moves it to his left there to Ranieri, who will lift it down the flank. And it's controlled by Biraghi. Inside it goes here to Kwame. Can't quite curl it out wide right. One back by Hernandez. He's been tackled, but it drops to Gabbia. Pokes it forward to Reinders. Takes it away from the halfway line. Plays it inside to Hernandez. Returns it to Reinders. The touch isn't great. He's been tackled from behind there. It's not seen as a foul by Kwame. And it's AC Milan left frustrated. As it's Fiorentina back on the ball. As he kicks it out of play because their own man's down here. Pietro Camuzzo, the young centre-half, injured as he tried to foul Theo Hernandez there, I think. As the seconds are ticking down here for AC Milan. As their whole bench went crazy. As that goal went in. From the Icelandic international. Has 2 hat-tricks for Iceland. Albert Gudmundsson. Scored 14 last season in Serie A for Genoa. Rather impressive. And that was Genoa's first season back in the Serie A after he won the league after he was promoted with them from Serie B. So we're back underway. Camuzzo not back on the pitch yet as De Gea kicks it long out of his hands. It's down the Fiorentina right, header away by Tomori, headed back forward by Bove. Now Colpani on halfway, going back into his own half to Dodo. And then to his goalkeeper, De Gea. Still no sign of Camuzzo at the moment. as De Gea clears it away for Fiorentina. As far as Gabbia, Camuzzo's back on the pitch, so he's back to 11 for the home side. Emerson Royale to Tammy Abraham. Not been his night, as he's been tackled there fairly by Gersons, who goes into the middle looking for Kwame, loses out, but then a big slide tackle from Beauvais wins the ball to Moise Keane, holds it up on halfway. It's now to the left of Gersons, tries to go back but gives it away himself, but then won back by Richardson, who's then brought to the ground by Morata. And that'll be a free kick. A little bit scrappy there. I don't think Fiorentina will mind that. They don't exactly want AC Milan in rhythm. As the goal scorer for AC Milan, Christian Pulisic, comes off, and I don't think he quite understands why. Not a bad replacement. I quite like his replacement, Samuel Chukwueze. Nigerian international, lost the AFCON final with Nigeria earlier on this year. As Kwame loses the header to Tomori as we're back underway. Interesting change to take off Pulisic, despite with the fact he scored the AC Milan goal. Kolpani on the right wing, loose touch, goes out of play. That'll be a throw-in on halfway for AC Milan. They've got to get this moving quickly because they don't want to lose. They have won 6 of the last 8 against Fiorentina. It's a fixture they quite like. They did the league double over them last season, and that was the first time they did the league double over them since the 2021 season, when they beat them 2-0 at home and 3-2 away. And I mean, imagine if they were to win 3-2 away again tonight. That'd be some turnaround from Milan. Can't see it, but you never know. We've seen crazier things in this game. We've seen 3 penalties given and all 3 saved. 2 for AC Milan and the 1 for Fiorentina. They're still with the away side on the ball, halfway line. It's with Yusuf Fofana. And as I was mentioning before, it's when AC Milan scored. Yusuf Fofana came from Monaco, played PSG 9 times, and only lost to them twice, which in Ligue 1, to have a record like that against PSG is rather impressive. As Okafor tripped on the left wing. No, he's not. He's brought down, but the referee doesn't see it as a foul. Moise Keane now holds it up against Tomori. Moise Keane turning one way, then the other, taking on 2 AC Milan players, but as he's taking on Tomori, he's caught him in the face. And it's given as a free kick for AC Milan. Tomori, the man to go down. Moise Keane cannot believe that's gone against him. The referee's had a lot to do tonight, and I don't think he's being favoured by any of the 2 teams. As Morata works it to the right wing to Emerson Royale. He's got the overlap of Chukwueze, but he'll put the cross in himself, and it loops into the gloves of the goalkeeper. And David De Gea catches. As Moise Keane was holding up the ball. Did he catch Tomori in the face? Can't tell, because the angle's from the back of them both, so don't really know. As the Fiorentina manager, Palladino, throws his blazer in anger with the fact that that decision went against his striker, Moise Keane. As it looks like AC Milan have tried to take the ball free kick quickly, but the ball was moving. It had Tammy Abraham in behind. As it looks like now the referee's being called across to go to the sidelines here to give a red card to one of the Fiorentina coaching staff. It's not the manager. Or is it the manager? I don't know. What's going on? And it was actually Tammy Abraham walking behind David De Gea as he was taking a kick out of his hands, and Abraham just stood in front of him, and you can't really do that. And it is the manager who's been sent off. So, Rafael Palladino, the Fiorentina manager, has been sent off, and he's going to run up to the stands, probably to get a better vantage point, but they're without their manager at the moment, so they're going to have to deal with their assistants, the likes of Stefano Settiero, who's one of the Fiorentina assistants. It's all just getting a bit much, this game, which we love. As we've got 5 to play. Tammy Abraham from the left wing plays it inside to Fofana in the centre circle. Brilliant ball. The game's opening up now. And the space on the right wing. Chukwueze on his left foot, edge of the box. He's going to go for the shot, which deflects, and it's palmed away by De Gea. And it'll bounce behind for a corner. He's definitely going to cause some issues late on in this game, Samuel Chukwueze. Not scored yet this season, the Nigerian. Well, he scored once last season in the league, and it was away to Verona in the middle of March. Scored twice in the Champions League against Dortmund and Newcastle. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinging cross into the 6-yard box. Headed into the air, into the ground by Richardson. Then a second header goes to Moise Keane, who then clears it up to the halfway line. Emerson Royale will get there ahead of Kwame. It's now Wemanian. We've got 4 minutes of the 90 to go. It's 2-1 to Fiorentina. AC Milan looking for another equaliser. It's played forward by Hernandez to the edge of the box. Header away by Gersons. Drops to Kwame. Bove turns backwards and plays it out to the left to Gersons, who clears it away first time. Up towards Kwame, who controls it but shoves Emerson Royale in the back. And that'll be a free kick for the away side, and they want to try and take this as quickly as possible. And it's pretty similar for AC Milan. They've not got many tricky fixtures. They've just got one a month, really. They've got Napoli at the end of this month, and then they've got Juventus at home at the end of November. Similar to Fiorentina, who've got Roma at home at the end of this month, Inter at home at the end of next month, and then Juventus away in December, at the end of December. So it's quite a nice run for both sides. Chukwueze drives into the box, left-footed, he's all alone, he's allowed to strike it, and he miscues it. And it almost goes out for a throw, and it hits the corner flag there from Chukwueze. Fofana wanted it laid off to him in the box. He would have had maybe a better settled strike. But I mean, Chukwueze, just from the right wing, cutting inside, and was just allowed to get onto his left foot so easily by Robin Gersons. But he was a bit off balance, Chukwueze. And like I say, didn't catch it at all. And hit the corner flag with the shot in the end. As Fiorentina go long, Moise Keane can't quite knock it down for a Fiorentina player. And it's now Morata down the right wing in the final third. Bit isolated. Gets away from Camuzzo. Puts a cross into the far post. Headed away by Dodo. Back to where it came from. Then volleyed by Camuzzo. To Gabbia, who will let the ball roll out and play for a throw-in. And he takes it quickly, throwing it to his goalkeeper here of Maignan. We've got 2 minutes to the 90 to go. AC Milan quickly running out of time here. Final third, left wing position for AC Milan. Can they get a cross in the box? Okafor's been tackled and it rolls out for a corner. Still could have some drama at the end of this game in Florence. In swinging ball to the near post, header away by Kwame. Still alive in the area where Emerson Royale goes for the header. It bounces and it drops to Theo Hernandez, who shoots. It comes off the captain, Ranieri, and out for another corner, which will be taken by Reinders. They're not going short. They're going to deliver it straight in the box here, the away side. In it goes, bit of a deep one this time, punched by De Gea. And there's a foul in the box. Tomori being too... Fofana, being too physical there with Eduardo Bove. I don't understand those kind of fouls being given. It just looks like they're both having a go with each other. Really. I still think there's enough in it there for me, but it's gone Bove's way. Fiorentina have the free kick, and we're about to hit the 90th minute, and we're going to find out how long we've got left. 4-hour round trip for AC Milan via the train, so bit of a way to go home, especially if they're on coach. And they don't want to leave empty-handed as De Gea kicks it long again. Header away by Gabbia. Drops into the midfield to Bove, goes to the halfway line, near side here to Gersons. 5 minutes added on. Real heads away the clearance. Controlled by Morata, who beats Bove to it. Chops away from Richardson. And plays it out to the left here to Okafor. Can't quite reach him, but it's won back by Hernandez from Dodo. Okafor. Going around the outside of one. In the box. Squares it. Tammy Abraham shoots and it's blocked. He goes down in the box, but nothing will be given. Cleared. Throw-in on the halfway line for AC Milan. Tammy Abraham. That time getting close. Controlling it. Shooting it. Don't think there's anything in that. Good work by Okafor. Abraham's touch wasn't bad. And then he hit it right-footed. think he might have been caught by the studs there of Ranieri, but nothing in it for a penalty at all. So we played 1 of the 5 minutes added on. Abraham's still down here. As I think we're going to get another substitute. No, no substitute. Abraham's still down. What is going on? No. Play carrying on. Fiorentina wanted to make a change, but they've not been allowed to. And Abraham's back to his feet. Chukwueze on the right wing. Left-footed ball goes in. It's bouncing around and it goes all the way through and for a goal kick. Now the sub can be made. This game has had everything. This is one of the best games I've watched for a while. So good. Just loads of drama. As that ball went through, looks like he may have flicked the shoulder of Dodo, but definitely not a handball. As Fiorentina are going to make one final change here. He's been a constant threat down the right wing, causing Theo Hernandez a lot of problems. Andrea Colpani, and the left-footed right winger will be replaced by right back Michael Coyote, who was brought in 2021, came through Juventus's academy, only 20 years of age, making just his second appearance in the Serie A. His first and only so far was off the bench in the first game against Parma. So he's not exactly being used at the moment by the new manager. As we've got just over 2 minutes of added on time to play. Abraham flicks on halfway. Can't find Reinders. Played forward by Dodo. Won back by Fofana. He then loses out to Kwame. And Fiorentina look to try and kill the pace of the game. Richardson. Back he goes to Coyote, who will clear it forward. Moise Keane will go to play it. Headed away by Royale. Headed back forward there by Bove. It's Kwame to Keane. Can't work it out to the left, but then he wins it back off Fofana. Moise Keane to kill the game. It's off the bar. And not in. Didn't go over the line. How on earth has Moise Keane not scored tonight? He's missed a penalty. He's had 2 goals disallowed for offside. He's hit the underside of the crossbar. Michael Coyote tried to shield it in the corner for Fiorentina. He's doing a great job of it. And foul's gone against AC Milan. Where's the foul in that? By the way, that's a rocket by Moise Keane. He's very unlucky that's not gone on the other side of the crossbar. I thought it had, but it clearly didn't from the replay. And it remains 2-1. But Fiorentina have a free kick here in the corner flag. Minute to go of added time. We probably might play a little bit more. Just do a few delays we've had during added on time. Taken short, and the deflection comes off Tomori. It's another throw in for Fiorentina. Not long left to win just their second game of the season, and the 2 wins would have come against Lazio and AC Milan. That's 2 good wins. Just a bit more frustrating for Fiorentina with the games they've dropped points in, as the throw-in goes to Moise Keane, and there's a foul on Hernandez from Moise Keane. And that'll be a free kick, which has been taken by Hernandez. And switched out to the right here to Chukwueze, who gets away from Bove. No, he doesn't. Pull back. And it'll be a free kick for AC Milan on halfway. Yellow card for Eduardo Bove, who takes it quickly now. Chukwueze out to the left. It goes to Theo Hernandez. And they've been told to take it again because the referee was not ready for the quick taking of that free kick. Taken quickly by Maignan. It's now to Fofana on halfway. Clips it towards the 18-yard box. Abraham loses the header to Kwame, but it drops to Reinders. Brought down, is it? No, he's not, because the referee's blown his whistle for full time. It's a historic victory for Fiorentina, who pick up just their second win of the season in Serie A. It lifts them into the top half of the table, beating AC Milan who lose again away from home. It's been a frustrating start to the season for Fiorentina, just too many draws. But tonight, they have got over that hurdle and turned 1 point into 3. But it didn't come easily. David De Gea will be labelled as one of the heroes from tonight's 3 points as he saved 2 penalties from AC Milan, as we've had a red card given out to Theo Hernandez, the captain, on his birthday. He was one who missed the penalty in the first half. He looks very displeased with the referee. So Theo Hernandez has been sent off there, it seems. A lot of frustration for AC Milan, who have dropped points again. They have dropped points in 4 of their opening 7 league games now this season. But the first goal was scored by Yassine Adli with 10 minutes of the first half to go. But before that, Moise Kean had a penalty saved by Mike Maignan in the 20th minute. And then 15 minutes later, they were 1-0 up through Adli, who is on loan from AC Milan. Brilliant finish in the corner of the box, wrapping his right foot round the ball into the bottom right corner. Brilliant goal. But the drama wasn't done for the first half. There was another penalty given for AC Milan. Theo Hernandez won it, took it, and it was saved by De Gea. And it meant the second half started at 1-0. But it was 1-1, 15. It was 1-0, and then there was another penalty given. 10 minutes into the second half, Tammy Abraham took the second one, and again it was saved by De Gea. 3 penalties taken tonight, and all 3 were saved. 1 for Fiorentina, 2 for AC Milan. But AC Milan finally got their goal with half an hour to go. It was an equaliser from Pulisic. It was a beautiful ball from Hernandez, and it was brilliantly finished at the far post by Pulisic, volleying it back across goal. And it was 1-1 until in the 73rd minute, Albert Gudmundsson drilled a ball into the bottom right corner to score his 3rd goal of the season for Fiorentina since joining on loan from Genoa. AC Milan knocks at the door. They tried to get the equaliser, their 2nd of the game. They just could not find a way through. But in the end, after a very eventful game here in Serie A, it finishes Fiorentina 2, AC Milan 1. What a game. Seriously, what a game. Drama, goals, disallowed goals, penalties, all of them saved. Crazy. Great commentary, mate. Thank you very much. But if you did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe. I think that's probably been my favourite game so far that I've commentated on this season. I really do think so. That was brilliant. So much drama. Had everything. And yeah, it finishes with the Fiorentina win. But that will be the end of the commentary for tonight. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. We have got another commentary coming, but it's next week. We haven't got any in midweek due to it being the international break. But our next commentary, we are focusing back on the WSL as the Manchester United women take on Spurs women next Sunday. And then we've also got the next commentary after that is a week after that, where we commentate on Shrewsbury on the Thursday night, taking on Exeter. So make sure you subscribe and notifications on so you know exactly when I do commentate and when I do go live. But here in Florence, we have had an absolute chaotic game between Fiorentina and AC Milan. Fiorentina took a first half lead. It was 1-0 after 2 saved penalties, one from Moise Kean and one from Theo Hernandez. Somehow Fiorentina went in at half-time 1-0 up. They should have been level at 1-1 earlier with a Tammy Abraham penalty, which also was saved by De Gea. But 5 minutes later, Pulisic, with half an hour to go, equalised at 1-1. And then the winner from Gudmundsson came in the 73rd minute. A long ball from De Gea, touched down by Keane, finished by Gudmundsson. And that was the last goal of the game. It gives Fiorentina the 3 points. They go into the top half of the table. And AC Milan are now 5 points off top dogs Napoli. But there's a lot more of the season to go. But into the October international break, the final game here in Serie A. Before that break finishes Fiorentina 2, AC Milan 1.